everybody. I'm doing a 30-minute session for a client, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session with me, come visit me at my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read the goals and get started. And before I read the goals, I just want to tell you thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you again, and thank you for your open-mindedness to share. And you said so many kind things, and I just want to thank you directly for that as well. So, okay. Hello, dear Abbey. How do I even begin? Since my first session with you 2 months ago, I have gone through deep healing and growth and deep personal revelations, and don't really have the words to express the gratitude I have for you. It feels that now is the time to take another step into healing and understanding self and soul. That's a powerful statement, okay? There's a lot of energy power to that statement. I'm just digesting it right now. All right. For this session, I'm really seeking continued healing of throat and heart in whatever capacity for this soul's highest good, and so she can continue to step into her truth. I am open to receiving anything that rises, and so grateful. Okay. All right. Here we go. Throat and heart. I feel like there's something a lot deeper beneath the surface. Okay. It's kind of picking up that deep vibe again. And that deep vibe is not something you can just articulately describe. Can I say articulately? I can say it. Okay. There's a lot here, and it's deep. And so where do I begin? But because of the depth, it has a heaviness to it. It's kind of pulling me down into it, which is fine. It does have a connection with my third eye, my nose, the very tip of my nose, and then my solar plexus, okay? And it's just a big open space. It's kind of... They show me a jug. It's in the shape of kind of like an old jug that has a cork in it, and you could put water in it and just sort of store it in your clay home. It's very simple. It's got an older look, very old, kind of earthy appearance to it. But it's shaped like the sort of rounded jug with a thin top, okay? And this is this underground space, and there's these tiny little droplets of gray liquid, okay? Like everywhere, like a mist. Then you can see the individual droplets, and this is a deep place. How do we articulately describe it? I want to keep saying that. Okay, let's see. Is that throat chakra? Is that why I want to keep saying that? Articulately. Something is good about this and your throat chakra. Okay. Into the deep space. Also interesting. Because this isn't deep space, like outer space. It's deep internal space. It's deep internal space. You must be going through some kind of introspective, because even as just talking, like every word that I'm using to speak here is part of the message, is part of the meaning, is part of the healing. And I experience a vast space as I go into this deep space. I'm literally shown the universe, but they shake their head and say, "Nope, not what's out there. It's what's in here." Okay, so it's this deep internal space. But I can't deny that there is a connection to both. And that this jug, like this part, like this, you would kind of grip it here, and then chug it down, right? It's almost like it has a vertical, like it has, here's the lower half, here's the upper half. Imagine if you have a triangle and it like goes to this point, and then you have an opposing triangle at the other side of that point. So you kind of have a reverse psychology or something going on here. That's also what this is like for me. I feel like as I talk about this deep space, I feel like I'm not honoring some other version of the same on the other side of the jug, okay? So how am I supposed to articulately work through you? You know what I mean? We'll get there. We'll totally get there. But there's energy work here. There's energy medicine involved in this. Do you notice there's a stuttering scenario going on here? There must be real throat stuff. Okay. But there's third eye stuff going on too. Because as I look at your throat and I'm like, wow, I'm so perplexed by all this language, all these words, and then the stuttering, and then the this and the inside out and the reverse and the backwards and upwards and the depth and the, you see? All this is part of your session. I feel a heaviness here in the third eye. I'm supposed to clear this out because you not only need emotional sight, vocal clarity, okay? You need third eye clarity too. You also need it here. Not typical, okay? Believe it or not, everybody wants third eye clarity. But I'm not always called, I mean, it's not always the primary calling, but believe it or not, there's a lot here that we need to work on. And maybe that's going to help with the articulation. I mean, that is the primary word. That's hashtag articulation here. Anything with that word is major message here for you. Articulate, articulately, articulation. All right, I'm moving on from this. Next. They want to show me, they want to show you something important. It's a very peculiar image. So it's an image of Uncle Sam. Okay, Uncle Sam is this, he represents America. He wears red, white, and blue. And you would see him, I mean, I have memories from being a kid at a parade. And Uncle Sam was always in a part of the parade, and he would have stilts. And he'd be ultra tall with really long pants, you know. But he has a big white beard, and he represents America. He represents democracy. He represents a lot of different things. But it's his image that is at the forefront here. And he really has something to say to you. And I see 3 versions of him, okay? 3. He's right here on the right. He's right here on the left. He's got a big drum. It's like a soldier drum. And he's drumming. And then we have a third version that is at the front. So he does kind of make a triangle. Yeah, so he's at the front here. And there's this matte gray colored banner behind him. So I can really see. He is articulated here. I can really see him. Because of what is behind him really outlines his appearance to me. At the forefront, I can see him clearly. I'm starting to understand you now. Are you trying to avoid? Don't avoid. I mean, you really gotta, you kind of know more than maybe you will articulate for yourself. Like, again, you know more than maybe you'll give yourself credit for, and don't avoid, okay? Don't avoid. Just stand your ground and know what you want, okay? Know what you want, know what you don't want. If you don't know what that is, find out what that is. Identify it. Or go through the rabbit hole of discovering what you want and what you don't want. Life teaches us what we want and what we don't want. And if we don't know, then we can go through that process. And 10 years later, we really have a much better clue what we want and what we don't want. That's life for you. But I tell you to stand your ground here because there's no threat. It's simply an opportunity. but he is a bit overwhelming to you, almost like he's coming on too strong. He's really pointing you out of the crowd and asking for you specifically. Like he's pointing at you and saying, come join whatever this is about, okay? I want you. 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 I mean, he's really emphasizing you, okay? And you're kind of like, don't make eye contact, backing up, hiding in the crowd. But the energy says, do not avoid. Do not avoid. Stand in front of him and say no. And then, because no is right now, right? So right now, the answer is no. So instead of avoiding saying no, just say no. And then tomorrow, maybe the answer is yes. Maybe you just need time to think about it. So you know where you're at here with what you want and what you don't want. You just need to know how to articulate that. So just say no, not right now. I just don't know right now. I mean, this is the first time I've seen you here pointing at me, and I'm not really rallied up for what this is about, but I feel like maybe there's no coincidence that I'm here, this divine time, and then you're really pointing at me. You're really reaching me in a way, but I just don't know right now what's best for myself right now. So I'm going to say no, but that doesn't mean no forever. Oh, now, okay, here's the response. The response is you're running out of time. You need to make a decision right now. You need to make a decision right now. And you're saying, but I don't know. This might be something I want. This might not be something I want. I just don't know. And he's saying, well, what's your decision? Because I need to know right now. He keeps showing me what is like time, wristwatch. I need the decision now. If it's a no right now and then you walk away, you might regret it. So maybe you need to think about the future you that is going to regret a missed opportunity. So you see how this is in the mind getting really confused? This is all third eye confused stuff because we don't know how to look at the situation to make a decision. So we need your third eye to know how to look at the situation so you can make a clear-minded decision. But also we need clear emotions and clear ability to express that. And your heart is in this because it's the heart of who you are, right? We're talking about the heart of who you are. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better because we're talking about this. This is the scene they want to show you. This is how we want to work through it. This is to introduce you more to yourself and what your guides and higher self are encouraging you to think about and to look at. All the while, we are working on your third eye, your throat, your solar plexus, and your heart, okay? Because it's about the heart of who you are. But it's almost like, okay, they want me to pause for a minute and just listen. I stopped time because this is getting overwhelming. You don't want to find yourself. Does this have to do with joining the military? It's just a spirit of the moment. And I mean, this doesn't have to mean specifically like you joining the military. It can have another version of a meaning. Not like the physical process of I'm going to become a soldier now. It could be an emotional process of I have an opportunity and it's a big one. And it's going to change my life. Anybody who chooses to sign up to be a soldier, their whole life is going to become something unbelievable because it's not a day-to-day, like it's not, I'm just going to go get my college degree and get married, have my house, and then go work in a cubicle. I mean, I'm going to go to a totally other country and I'm going to have a totally weird sleep schedule and I'm going to have to work on survival techniques and physical fitness and eating things differently and sleeping differently. And there's going to be a boss giving me directions. It's a totally different lifestyle, it's a totally different thing. So there's always going to be like a nervousness, like this is a commitment. This is a hardcore commitment. So this can represent a hardcore commitment that you need to make the decision, but this decision is not something that's just easily made. However, it's kind of at your doorstep and it's really pushing towards you, that you need to make this decision now. What's interesting is it's kind of like it's not wanting you to think about it because it just wants you to make the decision to just follow through. Just join, okay? Just join the military, Don't think about it, just join, okay? So it's a very pushy type of energy, and a part of you is kind of intrigued. Because you're intrigued, there is it's convincing, okay? Because you're intrigued, there is that little opportunity where you could say yes, and now maybe the next day you regret saying yes, right? So the next day do you regret saying no, or the next day do you regret saying yes? So you're kind of in between this concept here. I try not to work with regret. Regret doesn't exist because there's only the next lesson and the next experience, right? However, as human beings, we wonder and we wish things could be different. And why couldn't I have been better, clearer minded at the time? And then I got myself wound up into this, and now I can't go back, So we have regret, that's kind of a human emotion, but you have to own it. Like literally you have to own your decisions at every step of the way, But I feel there is the energy of regret, concerned about having regret. Concerned about having regret. So I need to just take it as it is, okay? Take it at face value here. It's not easy to get away from this scene because even for me, I want to see another side. Because I want to see another side, I just sort of wrap this whole thing up and send it away so we can see another version of the same in a different viewpoint, okay? But it's not something they're allowing me to just send away. Like we have to work through this image. We have to work through what we are given. And we have to work through this, okay? And for some reason it's getting... It's almost like, what's going to make this go away? And how do I get away from it? But it almost feels like the decision that you have to make is a yes. Because when you try to say no and you try to get away, you're not allowed to. So it's almost like the only decision you could make is a yes. All right, we're going to have to make a decision. That's what this is coming to. So I'm going to ask your inner you, and I'm going to say, all right, so we've stopped time, right? So what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And let's spur of the moment, make a decision. Let's see what happens. Oh. Okay, so let's go back to the original message. Do not avoid. You can stand here and you can own what it is that feels right for you and what doesn't feel right for you at this time. And because we've stopped time, now I'm giving you opportunity to really look at the details with me. And you're having a hard time talking to me about what this means to you. And I find us gravitating towards that deep space with the kind of grayish colored mist. And we're kind of in this water jug thing. And it has an opposing side, which is then the universe, which is then the internal universe. Okay, so it's kind of an interesting thing going on here. But this scene is a part of this jug. In the deep space within yourself. And it does give me an uncomfortable feeling in my stomach. Like instead of this jug being full of water, it's full of weird gray water. Who wants to drink gray water? I guess if it's what you got, you gotta take what you can get, right? So it's kind of below the bar of what you want. Gray water is not pure, clean water, right? It's drinkable, it's fine, but it's not We don't go to the store and ask for gray water. We want like the Fiji, we want nice. We want super great, high quality, crystal clear water. Third eye is getting really dense. It's getting really tight. Uncle Sam is here. And I mean, he is really stars and stripes, and he's very much so a parade energy. He's calling for your help. He needs you. I mean, he is really saying, I want you to join the army. That's what the energy is saying, okay? Don't take that literally, but that is literally that is the vibration of what it's saying. But as human beings, that doesn't mean you literally are being asked by the spirit realm to join the army. It's a conflict. It's something that you need to think about. It represents a really big choice, right? That life-changing choice. Why are you avoiding this? You can't say no to it, and you can't say yes to it. So you can't make a decision. Period. Therefore, this is going to follow you everywhere. Because you're always going to be hanging on not being sure what the answer is. And believe it or not, because you can't say yes or no, it is carried with you inside your heart everywhere you go, and it feels like regret. But you never said yes or no. So why? Why does it feel so heavy in your heart? Why does it feel so emotionally gross? Like drinking gray water. And it's about avoidance. And I'm still working on getting you to face this in a different way. And you still you're not even giving it a try yet. Like, let's at least try to do it differently. You keep backing up. Your response is not words, it is an action, which is backing up. Always backing up in a way, and then feeling heavy in your heart because you couldn't face it and you couldn't say yes or no to it. You just avoided. And you need to not do that. I'm going to break the walls of this whole space down because it's confining. It's starting to get hard to breathe in here. This also represents your heart. And you're not trusting in the way that you can't seem to see things. Like, you're just not sure how you see it, right? So if you're not really sure how you see it, then you're not be able to vocalize an answer. Then your body language is avoidance and backing away. So I got to break this whole, let's get rid of the water jugs. Let's get rid of the gray area. There's a reason why gray is a color here. It's not black and white, it's gray. And when you can't say yes or no, it's gray, right? And nobody wants gray water. So we have to acknowledge there is importance to black and white. And you have to find that inside yourself. You have to decide what is black and white to you. What is yes and no to you. That is the world we live in. The world we live in is, I want this, I don't want that. Okay, I'm in an experience that I wanted to have, right? Okay, I'm in an experience that I didn't want to have. What do I want while I'm working through this experience? What don't I want? What do I have to accept? How is this changing me? So life can be black and white. You have to choose to make it that way. And I will say that the more black and white you can make it, the easier it is to articulate what you want. And articulate what you like, what you don't like, and to live the life you want to live. You want to live the life that you want to live, okay? Why am I pointing at you? You know, am I Uncle Sam now? You. I want you. I want you. I mean, this is a hard decision here. You don't just join the army unless you are trying to escape life, or you really are valuing that experience, or you're doing it because it offers education programs and all kinds of incentives. There's specific reasons why you follow through with that. That is a big decision. I feel like that decision is bigger even than choosing college, because college is kind of like what people do after high school. But to become a soldier is really a unique pathway, you know? So this is representing a hard decision, and you need to decide. You need to decide. This is life-changing, you know? And we're running out of time here. We're running out of time. And you're avoiding, okay? So gosh, this is almost giving me a headache, like this third eye stuff is. No wonder, like, we need to work on this so that you have the clarity you need so that you can articulate what it is that you want in your heart, the heart of who you are, right? That this is affecting you emotionally. So that's why we have all of this going on here. Oh, good. You're fighting back. This just came out of left field. But suddenly you have all these like hidden knives, and they're quite small. They're like little tiny knives. And you have like war paint on, and you're dressed like maybe a soldier that's kind of covered in mud and trying to hide in the jungle or something. And you have all these miniature little knives, and you just do this war call, and you come out and you start stabbing Uncle Sam in all these places, okay? You're trying to take him down. So it still isn't an answer. It is an action, but it isn't a vocalized response. So now we have an action that is not a vocalized response. So the action is, I'm going to move backward and avoid, okay? The action is, I'm going to become the soldier now, and I'm going to take you down. But what are we saying, you know? Okay. All right, you just need to follow through with this. You're just taking him down, okay? So it's more like it's kind of annoying you because he's not giving you a chance. He's forcing what he wants down your throat. And he's basically telling you what your answer needs to be. And you don't agree with that. You don't want somebody down your throat telling you what the answer needs to be, and then making you feel guilty if the answer is no, and then that you're going to regret it as sort of a tactic. So you feel like this is about manipulation, and you're fighting back manipulation, because manipulation doesn't have a right to force its ideas down your throat. And you just are attacking that concept, okay? Very interesting. You attack the concept in the throat. You are stabbing it in the throat and in the heart. You are stabbing the concept of manipulation and forced decision making, and then manipulating you into feeling like you're going to regret it if you don't say what this personality is asking you, telling you what the right answer is without saying it, right? And if you don't know what the right answer is, you do know. So you need to tell me what the right answer is that I want to hear for you to feel good about yourself, because then I'll appreciate you. That's all manipulation. So you're attacking it in the throat and in the heart. And perhaps you've worked through relationships or people that maybe are like this personality type, and it's angering to you, could be. But I find it interesting that you're working on your throat and your heart, and then you attack this persona in the throat and in the heart. Everything that's out there is helping you to heal everything that's in here, okay? Even if that's to make you feel uncomfortable in order to understand how to empower yourself, Okay? Because we come across uncomfortable things because we need to become stronger than the discomfort in order to heal and mend it and see the next level of our own identity, you know? You still are avoiding yes or no, and you crying right now, and you killed him, okay? He's not moving. And it starts to rain, and it washes the camouflage. Are you hiding again? Is that why you're in camouflage? Avoiding, trying to blend in with the crowd. Now you're camouflaged, you're again hiding. Like this, these are things to think about. Because you have every right to simply stand there and say no, and there's no conflict at all. So if you stand there and you feel all this internal conflict, an inability to simply say no, that is giving you access to all that stuff that is time to work on it, all of it, which is kind of cool. It's like a whole volume, like it's a whole book full of opportunities here. That's pretty exciting. So we're reversing time. Let's just try this again from the beginning. You can't. You can't. You want to. I feel like you have the capacity to not fall into your emotional insecurities or your this emotional state that is creating the actions. The emotional state is not helping you to speak. You need the mental clarity to know what you're trying to say. But the emotional state is creating actions that aren't really helping the situation, because it could be simplified down with a little mental clarity to a simple yes or no. And the emotional state is making it hard for you to just do that. However, I'm trying to bring you back to the beginning so we could try this again. Mental clarity, yes or no, but you're saying that, you are speaking here, that you want it to just start from the point where Uncle Sam is lying on the ground dead. You have the military outfit on. The rain is washing the camouflage, the mud away from your face. And you're, because you took it all out on his throat and his heart, okay? In a way, you needed to go, you tell me you needed to go through that. It wasn't for you to just simply stand there to simply just say yes or no. It was for you to go through the action. And the action was your voice at the time. Like that was the voice you knew how to use, was your action. And through working through it as an action for starters, it's helping you to find the next level of decision making, however that is for you. But you say that in a way it's kind of like maybe it's okay to just have actions right now, and by following through with the way this makes me feel, and the feelings are creating a response, maybe that is just me right now, and maybe I need to just be like this right now. That's basically what you're showing me, that you are more accepting of yourself and where you're at, which is pretty cool. I personally, vibrationally, see that to be totally composed and together with yourself, it doesn't require all of this. We could just stand here and you can own what it is that you want. I feel like that it just simplifies it down to what you want. But this is falling into emotional states and conflict, feeling constant regret in your heart because you don't know what you want, following through with actions that I don't even know if those are what you want either. So the question is, are you doing what you want? But you are stating that you are doing what you want. This is what you want to do right now. You are stating that. Your inner you is showing me that. The unexpected is happening. You are standing up, and now you are dressed, you have stilts on, and you start to look like Uncle Sam, okay? And you're kind of freaked out by this, and you're trying to take the hat off and take the clothes off, and you can't remove it. And now you're standing on stage, and all these people are in the audience, and it's like you're kind of startled and surprised. I want to remind you that this session is deep. This session is about your deep inner universe. Deep space, though. It's about the universe. Your outer, external, and internal universe. Like the pyramid or the triangle, now, right side up, touching the tip of the upside down pyramid triangle, okay? Here's a water jug, and then here's the opposing water jug. Things are turned inside out. I see you as you are, right? But you are also every single person. So Uncle Sam asking you to make a decision is merely you asking yourself to make a decision. And you are attacking yourself in the throat and in the heart to make it go away. Avoiding yourself as well is not something that you can ever do, because you'll always have to face yourself. Makes sense why even in the crowd, it's like you never turned your back on Uncle Sam, because you can't turn your back on yourself, even if you try. And even when I was trying to move this space away so we could see it from another angle, your guides higher self was like, no, we need to work through this, because you can't send yourself away. You got to keep working through yourself. And it's not always clear. It's not always easy to see. Again, back to the third eye, okay? This is awesome! Okay, I knew we would find a way to articulately work through this. Okay, so the energy medicine is also to bring balance to yourself, to bring balance to internal conflict, to bring balance to what is upright and then upside down, and then is attached at the pinpoint, okay, of perfection or the center of it all, or whatever you want to define that as. But you're meant to be presented with these concepts so you can think about it and decide what it means to you, decide how you want to work through the meaning of all of this, okay? So this is what your guides higher self want to share with you. Thank you so much. Did you have any idea where this was going? Because I sure didn't. Thank you. That was really one of a kind. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for sharing with others. And for those of you watching, if any of you, again, are interested in exploring a session, come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I hope you all have a really great day.